Hello, YouTube fam. How y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel that I run and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. People have asked me, how is the government able to get away with so many different things? I said, because they tell us one thing and we're okay with that. Most people don't ask questions. Most people don't even bother to do research. They just listen and that's it. Bro, you send the National Guard anywhere, you're destabilizing law enforcement, city officials. Dude, those are lawsuits waiting to happen. And in DC, they're prepared for the National Guard to carry guns. Bro, what the fuck are y'all thinking? Do you think all of this is to stop some crime? Come the fuck on. If they wanted to stop crime, that shit would have been over a long time ago. Crime is profitable. People benefiting from it. Think about it. Our government most likely probably get a cut of drugs. Bro, you'd be surprised. Um, Dude, shit. It's so many things that I would want to mention here that are proven true that, see, people don't pay attention to. They so busy twerking, so busy doing other shit, that when all the shit actually comes together and they be like, okay, why nobody said anything? Bro, people done said shit time and time again. You wasn't ready to hear it. Now, once it happens, people looking at it like, man, how do we fix it? You can't. I'm looking at the fact that more and more jobs are leaving. They said once you send people back, that will create jobs. All those jobs that those people had, you would get those jobs. Someone told me, they said, hey, Unc, see, those jobs will be forced to raise the wage. No, they won't. What they'll do is just get rid of the job like they did already. Do you know how many housing projects and things like that are basically left on the table in Florida? How many, what you call those people had to declare bankruptcy and things like that, because once you cut, even the people who were legal don't even want to go to the job sites anymore because they're scared of the harassment, man. The thing that I'm looking at, man, I think a lot of times those participation trophies fucked up a lot of people. We all winners. No, we not. You got to prove to be a winner, motherfucker. You can't just call yourself a winner. What did you win? Dude, when I seen people win in school, and you seen those 3 places up on the stage, you had the first place, second place, and third place. You didn't place in none of those. You sitting there thinking, I want one of those spots come next time around. You work your ass off to get where you need to be. To be able to be sitting up on that stage, bro, because that's where you want to be. You looking at how looking at the people on stage and all, and they congratulating them. You want that. But now everybody's a damn star, and that's not true. See, that done fucked up a lot of people. You got people saying, hell, they should make the same thing that person over there make. It's a DEI hire. Ain't no damn DEI hire. Fucker, he got a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD, 20 years experience. What the fuck is a DEI hire? Know the damn job, and you come in with clients. Come the fuck on, man. See, that's the thing. People making excuses now. See, what's happening is the laws are being rewritten, and people are, going along with it because they think they're getting something out of it. And in actuality, you're not. They slowly phasing out shit. And they phasing it out real hard. They trying to cut funding for everything. HUD, Section 8, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. So once you cut all this shit, are you going to stop taking it out of our checks? What are we doing? What are we really doing? Why would I pay into a system that I won't get shit from? See, the thing is, we don't ask these damn questions. We don't ask anything. We sit here, we off in our own world. I don't want to talk about none of that. See, that's a little too deep for me. I don't give a damn how deep these conversations is. Sometimes you gotta have them. You know, when I told you that, going outside of the country and acting a damn fool ain't in your best interest, people looked at me like I was crazy. Dude, people going outside the country finding out the hard way. That ain't America. They don't give a fuck about your privileged ass. You coming over there talking shit about the stuff, the food, the people. Bro, be quiet. If they tell your ass don't go outside the resort, don't be like, I'm going outside. I don't give a fuck what they say. Then all of a sudden, consequences happen. Shit get real. People go missing all the fucking time. And you trying to blame somebody else for your shortcomings. Man, fuck that. Dude, too many people sit here and play victim all the damn time. And the biggest villain you ever seen. Dude, sometimes in all due honesty, I just gotta sit back and ask, what the fuck was you thinking? Dude, you can see people winning in their life. You got a good job, you got a good, got good cars, got a good home, got a good family. And dude, people still want more. You got the best of every damn thing, and you want something better. When is being appreciative enough? And I know you say, hey, Unc, you're not appreciative. I am appreciative of everything I got. Dude, wanting more is one thing. Being appreciative about it is a whole nother thing. I respect and understand what took to get to this level, man. What it took to get me here. How much I sacrificed and what I spent. Bro, it's not a day that go by that I don't understand that. See, the thing is, people think this is all some sort of game, some sort of gimmick. This is something that you're doing. You don't really understand, man, collecting toys is a way of life. It is. But shit, you got to make sure you live the rest of your life. You got to make sure that the stuff that you're doing balances out, man. The money that you taking out. Like I told people to take a little cash out the bank and have it, like somewhere safe in the house just in case. And people are like, wait, man, you see, here you go with all this Gestapo shit. Bro, shit getting real. I know you can't tell because people still out here living and living. See, that's the thing that gets you. See, the shit is so normal looking that you're not paying attention. This ain't the first time we done had crime and all of that shit. This ain't the first time when you look at every damn thing and you say, hey, look, man, you got to look at how bad Chicago is. You don't even understand. Chicago's so damn bad, people scared to go there. Bro, I live here. I take my ass to work every day. You going to be scared any damn where. I've been to many damn places and understand one thing. Shit could happen to you any damn where. You still got to keep your neck on the damn swivel. Turn, look. Shit, you don't have to just, lose your shit, but, just looking and understanding. As I was talking, like I said, crime pays. Bro, if you stop crime, do you know how much of shit will stop? Do you know how much shit is actually funded by crime? Do you know that? Do you think that this, the judicial system and all of these other systems, these jails and prisons and all this shit, you know what fund all that stuff, right? There's so much shit that's happening right now that nobody is paying no attention. This is why I say you got to keep paying attention. Keep your eyes open, man. Ask those questions. And I don't see nobody asking no questions at all. I still hear people talking about Diddy. Why the hell are we talking about Diddy? Dude, this man is close to being a billionaire. And we're worried about him. I don't think he's worried about us. Maybe worried about his freedom. But he's still in jail doing, some prison doing some zesty shit. Which is proven. They pull some of his records and come to find out he got a lot of sexually transmitted diseases. But you know what? That's the thing now. People don't get it. They think this life is a joke. You fuck up now and, I get it together later. Dude, it used to be you could do that. Now there is no later. There is no, well, I'm gonna pull myself up and do it like this. And rent is not affordable anymore, whereas you can just slack off on shit and just say I catch it later. I see if rent was still $400 and $500 damn dollars, even though back then in the '80s you didn't make that much of money. People talking about y'all were making $10 an hour in the '80s. I'm like, what part of the '80s did you live in? In the '80s, people were making like $5 and $6 an hour. Minimum wage was like $3.25. But like I said, people were making $4 or $5 an hour, and they thought they were really doing it. They had basic jobs, and jobs were plentiful. But hey, again, at the end of the day, you were making what you made, and you didn't cry about the shit. The difference is between us and that generation and this generation, you did what the hell you had to do. If you wasn't able to afford a car, then you didn't have one. If you couldn't afford a house phone, you didn't have one. Even if people can get a hold of you, shit, man, it was what it was. I give you my neighbor's phone number, and if you need anything, you call his ass. He'll let me know. This is how this shit roll, man. Now everybody want to go on vacays. They want to live their best life. To live that life, you got to put something in it. You just can't say I want to live my best life without even, wanting to go to work. You go to work for a week, then, you don't go back. Dude, they were hiring people at this Ford plant from this one area. People would get checks and stop coming. They stopped hiring people from there. And, they were hollering all type of discrimination and man, fuck out of here with that. You got to go to work. You can't go to work one week and, miss the second. Dude, please. We don't ask questions out here. There are jobs, but you got to be qualified. Following dreams is a beautiful thing. Man, I'm going to follow my dreams. But make sure your dream is your backup. Make sure you have something main carrying you through. My son said, hey, Dad, I wanted to follow my dreams and this and that. My mom told me to follow my dreams. I said, bro, look, get a job. Stay at your job working. No, but I'm going to follow my dreams. Shit fell through on that one. Now he realized I got to work. And this dream thing, I'm going to do it in the background. You got to understand, the world don't give a fuck about what you doing. It's going to keep on earthing, living, moving. It's going to keep rotating, or however you want to call it, whatever it's doing. I don't know. I'm just saying, when you look at all this damn stuff, pay attention. Pay attention. Nobody ever pays attention. People say, I did not see that coming. And you be like, damn, the shit was on a neon sign. Big red flag, like Chinese New Year. Shit was just moving all through your face. Everything around you was red. I thought you would would know at least. It was red on the damn buildings. And these buildings are not red. What are we doing here? Dude, people will play the victim. And see, that's the thing. This is why I say the first person you should look in the mirror at is your damn self. I know y'all look at these videos and be like he's talking down to. I'm not talking down to any damn body. If you ever found yourself in a situation where shit is not happening the way you want it to, you are over 25 and, you ain't got your shit together because it was back in the day. If you was 25 and didn't have your shit together, you were all fucked up. And, at least are trying to get your shit together at 25. Now it's like at 30. But back then it was like 25 because, you get out of school, you get out there and get a job and stuff. And, back then, people were still going to clubs and hanging out and, trying their best to get back to work, like on the weekend, like to work, the next day or whatever. Bro, look, if you are a certain age, you have no kids, you have no significant other, and it's just you, get another damn job. Get some loot. If you're talking about, you living paycheck to paycheck, but you don't want to do anything to get an extra piece of money, dude, come on, man. What are we doing? It's just like people just complaining and don't hear they self-talk. You see people doing shit, you get mad at them, talking about, see, that's the thing. They're a slave to the system. They ain't a slave to the damn system. If you want to live your life, God understand, you got to work in this world. Bro, you can't just sit here and fuck off and think shit is just going to happen good for you. To the rich, we are like puppets. They could play with us any kind of way. They could do shit, and we okay with it. We do not pay attention. We just continue to do things. We fight amongst one another. You know, the middle class and the poor, we fight amongst one another. Then, you know, we don't fight with the rich. You know, they talking about, hey, look, if you lower our taxes, you know, we could create more jobs. So we lower their taxes and they don't create any jobs. They, you know, basically close some jobs. And we sitting there like, wait, what just happened? You got played. See, the thing is, all our elected officials are either millionaires or billionaires. That makes no sense. You're not in tune with, you know, the working class people. You don't know what it's like. You probably knew what it was like once upon a time, but once you get a certain level, it's just like listening to some of your stars. You know, your musicians. Think about Lil Wayne, Eminem, Snoop Dogg. You can't relate to none of the shit they say. Why? Because 50 Cent. Maybe back when they first started, you could have related. But now that you rich and, you know, you got all this money, you living in mansions, bro, the shit don't make sense no more. Because there's no hunger in it no more. You're not hungry anymore. You full. You know, why everybody else just looking at the situation like, man, I don't want to hear this dumb shit. Dude, that's what it is. You know, I keep hearing how great of everybody is. Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit no more. Dude, man, please, miss me with that shit. You know, somebody talking about their mama and their daddies and, you know, drugs and guns. I don't want to hear about this shit no more. Dude, come on. Don't you got some other shit to talk about? Knowing damn well you ain't did neither one of them, but it's good. Then, you know, they sit in jail for a week or two, then they get out. Man, come on. Can we really have something that's worth something? Can we really just do what we need to do without all the bullshit, man? Sometimes I get tired of hearing just the shit. People are more angry. They're more aggressive. They're fighting each other. They're walking around with all of these animals with them. You ever sit back and look? Look what's going on with our celebrities. Look at Justin Timberlake. His ass crashing out. Look at, what is his name? The Weeknd. Look at his ass. Acting crazy as hell. Look at Britney Spears. Bruh, she looked like she just been, I don't know. The shit just looks crazy, man. She dancing on stage. I mean, not even on stage, in her house. And in the background, you see all the shit the dog done dropped on the floor. I'm like, where's her staff at? Shouldn't they be picking this shit up? House look like kids been all through it and her kids don't even visit. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Somebody need to explain to me. Dude, then you got Lil Nas X walking down the street in his tighty whities with a pair of white cowboy boots, man, talking about be at the party and stuff. And it's like, it's a shame nobody called the police. All they did was film this. How you know it wasn't the person he had filming it? You know, like I said, you know, Mike got a record coming out. You know, a lot of these people do crazy shit when it's time for music to drop, man. That way you talking about them. Thinking about the guys in Atlanta. There's two guys in Atlanta. Nobody was buying like his clothing. And him and his friend, he paid his friend, and it's, you know, to put on a dress, you know, a miniskirt. He put on a miniskirt too. They're all over TikTok. Two black guys in Atlanta, 19. He owned a business, so he put on the miniskirt, and him and his friends walking around with it. And you just know, just by looking at them, they not gay, you know. And it's like, is this what it's coming to now? You know, that men are, you know, the drip, the swag, they changing it up. They're wearing women clothes now. Bruh, this man is making a killing. Do you know? Think about it. He was trying to get everybody to buy stuff and nobody would buy it. Then when he put it on, everybody bought it because guess what? You promoted this shit so damn hard that people talking about it. People all over the place giving you free publicity as you make bank. Shit is crazy as hell. Like I said, people hate on you so damn hard that you benefit from that hate. It's like somebody leaving you negative comments on every damn video, not knowing that they helping the algorithm. This is what I'm talking about. Man, I'm just trying to understand. You know, sometimes I don't leave out the house on the weekends, man. Sometimes I sit my ass in the house and don't want to go anywhere. My wife be looking at me like, why? You know, Monday through Friday, bro, I be on the move. I gotta move. I gotta get to work. I gotta do the work. Then I gotta come home. Dude, being on a bus and a train is a whole nother damn thing. People acting fool 2 days out of the week. Somebody was doing crazy shit on the damn train. Damn, you know, the second day a conductor got pushed on the tracks and shit. I'm like, damn, like, y'all playing. I'm like, dude, please. Then you get these guys doing a video about how Chicago is so bad, you know, about time the National Guard got here. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, man, come on. It's bad everywhere. And I know you hear those emblems and things like that, man. You gonna hear shit like that. You gonna see shit like that. It's gonna be shit like that. Crime happens every damn way. It don't care where you at. You know, hell, you need to ask yourself what's happening in Nebraska, Idaho, Iowa, all these other states where shit normally don't happen is happening. Ask yourself what the fuck is going on in Texas. Ask yourself what's going on with that HIV rate. What is going the fuck on? That hookup culture is basically killing the young people. They don't give a shit. They don't wear condoms. They don't wear protection. They just out here just having sex with random ass people and passing it on to each other, man. They don't care. And this is why I say you need to really be careful with the people that you are around. That type of crazy energy seeps off on you. If your friends don't give a fuck who they fucking, dude, you ain't either. Man, you go far off, man. You don't talk about toys that much. You know, you give life advice a lot. Dude, shit. We got enough of toys just about. Shit, we ain't got enough of life advice. I don't see any other toy channel. And the ones that I see now that are doing this is because I done it. And they doing it now. You know, they weren't even on that level. You know, as soon as I start doing this stuff, you see so many other people doing it. Why? Because you start realizing you need more. You need to talk to people about shit that really matters to them. What they going through. Nobody ever get it. It's shit that's happening out here that is so fucked up. It's so much of crazy shit. They trafficking motherfuckers around. Dude, you think it's just crazy. It's crazy how life is just happening. It's crazy how you could wake up one morning free and the next morning being somebody else's bitch. I'm serious, man. You out here being, you know, carted around, being paraded, sold off to people and shit like, dude, it's crazy. This is why I say don't get your ass so blackout drunk that, you know, man, I had a good time. Man, you know, I know uncle, you know, dropped me off in front of the crib, man, take me to the house. Man, look, hell no. Dude, like I said, I had enough of that when I was younger, man. You know, people going out there getting fucked up drunk, and I'm taking them home and shit. You know, I gotta, you know, walk up to your door. Then I gotta explain to your girl or your wife why you all fucked up. Like, why you didn't stop him? I'm not his damn mama. I'm not his daddy. That's a grown-ass man. You should be asking him, why didn't he just fucking stop? But no, that ain't how people look at it. They look at it like, you supposed to stop it. You supposed to say something. You supposed to do it. You know, shame on you for letting this grown-ass man do this to theyself. Because I feel that, you know, you don't have their best interest in mind. Man, look, I am tired of playing with people. I am tired of coddling people. Dude, I don't coddle my damn kids. I ain't no coddle no grown-ass men and women, bro. Look, you don't coddle people. You let them live, you let them grow, but as far as all that other shit, fuck. No. I told you that they're closing a lot of the McDonald's. They're closing some of the Burger King, Burger King, the Wendy's. Dude, some of the White Castles, they're closing. Some of the Arby's. Dude, a lot of these places are closing some of their stores. Restaurants, rather. Then some of the stores are closing up. This don't bother nobody. Well, brick and mortar's dead. Okay, but where you gonna get your restaurant food from? Where you gonna get your shit from when Amazon be like, because they talking about striking. because they're replacing a lot of them with fucking robots. Dude, see, that's the thing that nobody understands. Everybody love all this new technology, all this AI shit. Man, I don't even believe AI is what we think it is. I think that's demons. I think that's some wild shit, man. Anytime rock salt stops an electric car from moving, what the fuck we really doing? A salt field stops you from going forward? Dude, come on. Then we let AI into everything. We got AI as our, you know, emotional care animal. They got these pandies and these little cute dogs, you know, that you can get off the internet that looks, it's a little brown or light brown dog, or some of them white, some black. And, you know, it look like you can hold it in your hand and the head moves and, you know, it acts just like a fucking dog. And they got the pandy where it's supposed to calm you down. You know what? Why are we letting all this shit into our home? Why are we letting things that could actually see you, things that record you, send information? Dude, what you think? This is a fucking robot. Dude, at the end of the day, look, we should know something better. We should know better by now, but we still do it. You get these little apps on Facebook talking about what your future self will look like, or you look like with, you know, as this person, you know, all this AI generated shit, you know, and I'm like, why are people doing that? If you really want to live that life, wear that dress, or be this person, go out there and do it. Oh, man, but I don't, you know, I hear some of the ladies, I don't got the resources and this and that. Man, you got the damn resources. Just go out there and take pictures of yourself living your damn life. Nobody want to do that. You know, people want happiness without putting work in. What the fuck going on? Used to be back in the day, you understood that you got to put effort in. They tell you that all these stars are worshiping the devil, and, you know, the basketball players, they made deals with the devil. This is why they so good. What happened to hard work and dedication? Not everybody done sold they soul. People work hard at it. You out there, you know, the game don't start until damn near 7 o'clock at night. You get there at 9 and you practicing ever since 9 o'clock in the morning. You out there practicing your ass off every day. Guess what? You bound to either get better or something else, man. That's the thing that people fail to realize. You know, people study for tests. You know, you be like, man, why is he getting such better grades than I am? He must be cheating. No, motherfucker, he's studying. Something you ain't doing. You know, it's like now everybody wants the shortcut. Everybody wants the finished product, but without being ever able to put any work in. You know, man, I shouldn't have to put any work in. I should have a finished product. If I don't go to school, I should come out and still get a job after getting out of high school making $80,000 a year. And I'm sitting here like, damn, what reality you live in? Who promising you this shit? You know, maybe I can listen to some of this, man. Like I said, you got to get your shit together. I don't know how long this type of world is going to be here, man. You know, shit is crashing out. Look at Japan. No, that's China. Look at China. Look at what's happening there. Flooding malls, bro. The whole damn mall flooded. Parking structure. Dude, the parking structure was high as hell. The water was over the damn parking structure. I said, you fucking playing. It lets you know shit is real. Bro, we sitting here thinking, you know, they got this big ass dam over there that just shit tilted the earth just a little bit. Dude, and I'm just like, man, and plus in Idaho, man, under the water, under the ground, where all those cracks are at, well, forming, you hear explosions going off, and people keep saying that's the tectonic plates hitting against each other. They hitting against each other, they banging. That's what you hear. No, sound like explosions, bro. And see, that's the shit you don't hear. You wondering why all of this shit is happening? Dude, they fucking with stuff, man. And see, when you mess with things, things change. Dude, I may be the last person you want to hear anything from. But see, the thing is, I want to hear shit from people who going through shit, not somebody who ain't went through shit. They sitting there trying to tell you about life. You like, this motherfucker ain't never lived. Don't even know what's going on. Dude, I know what I'm going through. I know what I'm doing. I know why shit is fucked up. It's fucked up because, again, everybody's playing victim. Everybody expecting somebody else to fix the damn problem. Why would I fix the damn problem if I didn't cause the damn problem? You know, this is how a lot of people see it. Nobody asking why the hell is airplane tickets so expensive. Now at airports they using facial recognition. Do you know how fucked up that is? Facial recognition, dude. This is what we're coming to now. AI. They talking about what the travel look like for Labor Day weekend. United 3.1 million, American Airlines 3.9, passengers expected. All of these, dude, it's just then the travel in Europe 18%, domestic 10%. Man, they want us to get out here and spend all type of money, man. And I'm trying to figure out the average American is living off credit. Man, credit. They buying food on credit. They're purchasing shit with credit. They paying their car notes with credit because at this point, man, a lot of people are at the point where like shit, it's hard. Then you got kids that don't want to leave out here talking about it's hard out there. What the hell you thought your parents was telling you? Like it was easy, like you want shit and they barely making it. Talking about you gotta live like this, man. Living with your parents is optional. You can always move out if you grow. I tell people a lot, find some shit that you could do. Make it make sense for yourself. Get your shit together. Feel what you need to do, man. I'm looking at it just like this. There's so many things that I need to do right now. And yes, I am upset. We are going to Europe this year. And I was just sitting here thinking to myself, a different year. We've been going every year. And just a little worried. And people say, I don't get it. Why are you worried? Why would you be worried? Dude, each year shit changes. Shit ain't the same no more. It's different. Everybody now feels some kind of way about something. And, you don't know what actually rubbed off, what people are teaching or preaching. Sometimes it's okay to go somewhere and be kind of, weary a little bit. Look around, People ask me, do I ever experience racism? Yes, I do. Dude, look, you experience it as being a person of color, you experience it damn near every day. So sitting here thinking you ain't experiencing somewhere else, you okay with it. I see a lot of the people on YouTube go to these countries like Egypt and all of that and live and do all this weird shit, And Egypt got some weird rules and shit like that. You got to be very careful. Everybody want to go somewhere and live their best life. But make sure when you're there, if shit goes down, you can get your ass out of here within a jiffy, man. People get tired of you sometimes. They get tired of that entitlement, that mentality that I deserve this. You deserve what you work for. You get what I mean? You deserve what you work hard for. You deserve, man, please. I look at it every day. I hear so many comments, and I say here because sometimes I play them with music. Let AI do the talking for it, reading some of the comments from some of the videos. And, some people say you don't deserve the shit you got. And I'm sitting here like, I worked hard for the shit I got. It wasn't given to me. Some of the stuff was. We got great people that donate to the channel, man. We got, my wife, who buys some of the stuff. But primarily, at least 90% of the stuff, I bought. Before there was a Ross, there was full price. Before there was full price, there was double the price from eBay or triple the price. So this is what you're dealing with. The mentality of everything. People think you don't, spend money, you don't have any, you broke. He broke. That's it about Tim. He broke. Unc broke. People don't understand shit. The first thing they say is you broke. It's like instead of people building you up, they tear you down. Like certain YouTube channels, man, I go over there and show love. Why? Because that's what it is. You should be showing love instead of tearing people down. If you build them up, maybe they can build you up. I used to build a lot of other channels up when I was doing YouTube, doing different things on YouTube. And, some of the channels, some of them would show hate. And I'd be like, why? I'm sending people your way and you showing hate. Why? Oh, man, I don't need your help. Then I stopped. Oh, man, my viewership is down. Get them up your damn self. You doing it right. Bro, like I said, this is why I don't help people too much, man. Dude, I was talking to somebody, they told me, they said, man, bro, look, man, we go hang out, man. I stopped through. I was like, nah, man, I don't let people stop through my house. Man, it's like that. I said, bruh, I don't know you. That's how quiet it got. I don't know you. You think I'm going to invite somebody I don't know into my home? And you told me yourself, you don't know me. I'm taking your word on it. I don't know you. I'm not inviting you into my home around my wife and grandkids and shit like that, man. Please. I have my grandkids sometimes. You think I'm going to invite you into my home around my damn grandkids and my wife? Hell no. Bro, I'm too old to be talking about hanging out with damn people. Bro, look, if we hang out somewhere. Go to, just, me and the guys, we go out to eat sometime. Or we just sit down and talk about crazy shit. That's what it is. Nobody coming over nobody's house, man. Too old for that dumb shit, man. Too old to be bringing other people's problems into your house. Man, I keep asking people, why you tell people your business so much? And I know a lot of y'all say, well, Unc, you tell us all your business. Don't tell you none of mine. Bro, just because I'm talking about something don't mean it's happening to me. And I tell you that over and over, but see, people be like, yeah, it's happening to him. See, it gotta be happening. No. See, that's the thing. You want something to be right so much that you don't look at the other part and be like, then when shit happen, you get mad because you be like, bruh, no. Guy once told me, I'm tired of my car breaking down. I'm gonna go buy me a new car and just say to hell with this shit, I'm done. I said, bro, look, I'm not your daddy, not your mom, not your brother, not any damn thing to you. I said, I'm gonna say it just like this. When your car break down, you get it fixed at your own rate, your own time. And I said, at the end of the day, it's your car. You don't have to pay a car note. You don't have to pay, full coverage if you don't. You can pay liability because it's yours. And I said, hell, oh man, you ain't my daddy, man. I'm gonna get what I get. Got out there and bought that damn car. The car note like $700 damn dollars. The insurance is damn near $400, and you sitting there crying because you gotta, put gas in, and you gotta get stickers and plates and shit like that, and you talking about where you go get the money from, and I'm just looking like, okay, it's not like you didn't hear this coming, Like I said, shit, new cars break down too. Shit happens. Bro, you got to get it fixed and pay the damn note. Man, I gave up on just, trying to, save people, man. You can't save people. Sometimes you got to let them drown in it. People don't want to hear it. Man, I'm surprised you ain't get a brand new car yet. Why? What you mean? I said, ain't shit wrong with the one I got. Man, but I just thought you would want something new, No, I'm good with what I got. Man's paid for, and I get that other money in my pocket. Oh, man, I thought you would get a boat or something. Why the fuck would I get a boat? I got to pay dock fees or whatever like that. If the boat is too big and it can't come out the water, that means I got to pay to get it stored during the winter. Then I got to pay a slip fee for it to be on the water during the summer. Then I got to pay to get it out of the storage, to bring it in. Then I got to pay to put it in storage. Dude, come on. Then I got to pay for storage each month. What are we doing? See, these gifts that keep on giving, and not in a good way. Unless you renting the boat out, going somewhere with people, doing some shit, you feel ass out. This is the shit your unc talk about. This is that grown shit nobody on any other channel talk about. This is that shit that tells you that, at certain points in time, it's okay to step back from stuff. It's okay. I asked my wife the other day, I said, man, we had so much energy, like, when we first got together, 2 years or 3 years in, we had so much time. And I said, time doesn't change. I said, it's like 4 or 5 hours missing from the day. And I said, being realistic, that's the way it feels. I said, because the days are going by too fast. And I said, if that ain't bad enough, I said, everybody talking after they took that vax, they're feeling sluggish. Their feet hurt. People coming up with all type of illnesses and, a lot of people are developing cancer and stuff like that. And, it's weird. I'm not saying that that's the cause of it. I'm just saying shit changed since then. Back then, you was full of hope, and now you still full of hope. It's just like, man, I'm just trying to see where everything is. Look at it this way. If you look at 2019 right now, or 2018, I'm going to say those 2 years, shit was different back then. Shit was way cheaper. 2018, 2019, boy, you could get any damn thing. Try to buy games from other countries right now and see how easy that is. Look on YouTube eBay and see how much those damn games cost now, because you gotta pay for them and all this shit, man. It's crazy as hell, man. The level of fucking fuckery is just too much, man. I thought we had free will, man. Choice. Hell, it's like the government done took the choice away from us, man, to actually live our life on our terms, bro. Living at an affordable wage, bro. Living at an affordable bracket, man. So many places being flooded, and the land and all of that. And, people homes are underwater. And they're sitting here trying to tell you, well, it's things you can do. What could you do? Your insurance only covers so much. You get what I mean? Lady told me, she said, my basement flooded already this year. Okay, so we went and got it fixed. Basement flooded again. We kind of waited a little bit to get it fixed. Then it flooded again. She said, I'm just done at this point. I don't know if I want to stay in a home anymore. It's too much work. And people are like, man, you could tell you broke. You ain't got no home yet. You ain't got a $500,000 home. You ain't got no $3,000 mortgage. Bro, what the hell you thinking? Come on, man. I ain't trying to do that shit. Not all affordable homes. Then, you asking yourself, why is it affordable? Did somebody die up in here? You asking real questions because you notice some real shit happening. It's nothing wrong with being real. It's nothing wrong with understanding that sometimes you just get tired of this shit. You just get frustrated. The summer just came in and just fucking left. It was the hottest summer so far in a long time, man. Summer was just fucking a heat wave. Now it's like summer is just a distant memory almost. We are 8 months in the year, and it's almost over. We're about to be in September in a minute, dude. School done started back here for Chicago public school systems, man. And it's gotten you thinking to yourself like, damn. I'm looking at the fact that I looked at the calendar for the Chicago public school system on the days they got off. Do you know they got so many damn days off? This shit was starting ever since like 2000 where they got all these crazy ass days off. I'm like, damn, there are too many days off. When I was little, there were no damn days off. There were no snow days. Motherfucking Chicago public school system stayed open. Dude, the snow could have been as high as a 5-story building. The snow plows would come in, or your ass would have to walk through that damn snow, dragging your ass through the snow to get your ass to school. And guess what you did? You went every damn day. Wasn't no thing is you stay home sick. You carry your ass to school every day. If you fighting every day with people, you fighting, but you went to school every day. Dude, I learned a thing a long time ago. I'm not here to make people feel better. I don't go into the past and keep up with that shit. I don't talk to people from it, man. That shit is over. That part of my life is done. I still see people who keep in touch with people, and that's good for them. And it ain't nothing wrong with that. But for me, that's done, bro. I moved on. I want something different. You know, some of the people are still in the same damn place, you know, as far as mentally. Like I told you before, they still talking about the best years they had in high school, or when we were in grammar school, or, you know, like working summer jobs and shit. Like, man, I ain't did none of that shit in decades, bro. What about 30 damn years? What are we talking about? Why are we sitting here talking about shit that don't add to shit? You can't go back in time that I know of. I'm sitting here trying to figure out when the hell did we just stop trying? You know, we living our best life in the past. You reliving your glory years. You riding around in a Camaro with a mullet. Dude, the shit was just nuts. I'm just sitting here like, this fucker got a mullet. You be riding around like this, bro. Come on, man. Get in the car, man. I'm like, roll the window down, bro. Roll the window down. We in 2025. Motherfucker, this is at 85. What? You know how old this damn car is? Shit. This car's 40 damn years old. Bro, it ain't nothing wrong with it. The car's maintained good. Everything about it was amazing. Immaculate. He was the one I was talking about. Said at one point in time, you know, I could use this car in a video and talk about it. I wasn't gonna drive it. You know, if I was gonna drive it around the parking lot. We got a big parking lot around here. And I was gonna drive it around the parking lot, and I was gonna talk about it, fill it up with gas, and give it back to him. He was gonna be there the whole damn time. You know, we was gonna walk through it. But, oh man, you know, doing this, you know, I should get something for it. I should be compensated. Fucker, we ain't even started shit and you want to be compensated for shit. Dude, doing the Uncle Tim, you know, action figure line. Dude, tell me why the dude I must have been doing this with, this guy here. I was just trying to figure that out. I'm putting up all the money. The renderings and all this stuff is coming from me. I got them. You know, the prototypes, we were talking about putting them through. You know, he gave some good suggestions. But, bro, those just suggestions. We didn't use any of them. You talking about we should go 50-50. I'm like, what are you putting in? What are you meaning? What are you putting in? Dude, you can't get in on the ground floor without investing, bro. Come on, man. Man, but what if it don't take off? I said, you won't profit and you ain't put shit in? Come on. Bro, I had to kill that friendship because of that. Entitled motherfuckers thinking that, you know, you should get something and you ain't putting nothing in. You know, and that's the thing that I'm looking at. It's so crazy how we've been conditioned to feel that we are owed something. I remember the football player, he wasn't living with his mom. When he was younger, she was putting guys before him. And, you know, I think around about between 14 and 15, she put him out. And he was living with somebody else. He became a famous football player. And the first contract he got, she asked for $1 million. She said, I deserve $1 million. And he like, why? So he gave her $1 million and he was funding her lifestyle, right? And they went in on some businesses and he never got paid for it. He said, I just realized one day I just had to cut her ass off. He said, that just wasn't for me. He said, I see this person sitting here talking all this shit, you know, telling me they raised me. You didn't raise me. You really didn't play no part. I have this other friend that got this friend who works and, you know, he actually put himself through school and every damn thing. He was living his best life. He did everything he's supposed to have. You know, he had left home at an early age because shit wasn't working there. It wasn't for him in that house, man. Even I knew it. You know, I asked my family, could my little brother come stay with us? And they were like, fam, it's too many of us here. And he understood that. So he made his way out of no way, man. And, you know, when he made it, his family was the first one to reach out and be like, yeah, you know, we want this, this, and this. He changed his phone number. Why would you want something from somebody that you didn't put nothing in? See, that's the entitlement that I talk about. All of that, you know, I deserve this. I deserve it. You know, everybody feel they deserve some shit. You know, why do you deserve it? Dude, I am so tired of everybody feeling, you know, like they deserve a piece of something that they didn't create, something they didn't, you know, benefit, you know, help to build. Man, you know, man. Sometimes I get tired, man. I sit here some days, man, and just figure, man, you know, it got to be something more to life. And I tell people that, and they like, man, you reaching, bro, you reaching. You know, the thing is, you should just be happy that you're alive, you're living, blah, blah, blah. Man, look, it's more to life than that. It's more to life than just sitting here, you know. It's okay to be thankful, it is. But, you know, you should want more. You know, I just want to sit here and understand some shit. I know you like this a long ass video. I'm giving you a long one today. And look, the reason why I'm all over the place is because staying on one topic, everybody gets tired of it. Even if it's like something that you're really into and it makes valid points. The reason why I do the videos I do and I talk about them the way I do, I'm not here to give you 100% proof to change your mind or to sway your mind. I'm giving you something to make you think. Whether if you want to look into it or not and be like, damn, that really makes sense. You know, you thinking, you know, yeah, the medicines we got nowadays, they save you. No, they don't. They prolong your life. They prolong it, but at what cost to you? You know, health issues are abundant. You know, like you living with some shit that, you know, they could have cured. But see, there's no money in cures. There's only money in treatment. And you look at this whole world, your insurance companies and all of that. You know, you think you should get some sort of kickback if you haven't went to the doctor in a certain amount of time. You think you should. But, you know, when you start going to the doctor, they want to raise your shit up. So your insurance money is going into a pool to actually fund, you know, people who are actually sick and going to the doctor and stuff like that. You know, people that has insurance, but it's still the same thing, man. But I'm looking at it just like this. You get tired, and it's okay to be tired. It's okay to, you know, sit back and look at some stuff and want to be, you know, better. But see, people don't want to be better. People just want to be what they are. You know, somebody told me to, you know, tone down my glow. You know, turn down the shine. And people say, man, you got to live your life. You can't worry about all this. Dude, I don't know. Maybe that came from a place of love. Maybe that was God saying, man, look, hey, you might want to tone it down a little bit. You know, people look at you. They do. They look at you. They pay attention to you. Dude, you know, they looking at you. They adding you up. They adding what you got on, your watch, your ring, you know, your shoes. You know, maybe what's in your wallet, you know, your hat, you know, whatever you got, your phone, you know. Dude, people adding this shit up. And, you know, most people think, you know, inside of your bank account, you got $40 million in there. Man, I'm going to need $300 a day out of the ATM and, you know, this and that. And you look at it like, where you going to get that from? You know, like, man, I know you got it. You ain't got it. What make you think I got it? Dude, you have people panhandling on the side of the street, you know, on the expressway, on the side of, like, intersections and things like that. And instead of asking you for, like, spare change like they used to, they ask you for dollars. Oh, man, you ain't got it. You in a car and this and that. Don't you know the person in the car living paycheck to paycheck too? Dude, they got shit they gotta, take care of. It ain't their job to fund another grown motherfucker. I understand people go through stuff, man, but shit, everybody go through something. You can't sit here and make everybody else's life, 10 times better, man. Dude, I've been thinking about it for the longest, man. And I'm just like, man, dude. I'm just looking, man, and I'm just like thinking to myself, man, it is so damn crazy, man. I just been like, come on, make it make sense for me. People get mad at me that I know that I won't eat off of food trucks and things like that, or street vendors, and they say, man, it's like you too bougie or something. Or like if they throwing something free at work, and like people bringing stuff from home, I don't touch it because I don't know these people. I don't know what your home look like. You bringing food from home? Did you get it from the store? If you got it from the store, I'm good with it. But you telling me what your home is like, and you think I'm gonna eat with you? Come on, man. That ain't me being disrespectful. That's me being respectful to myself, bro. Eating off of everybody ain't good. When they throw free shit at work, I don't mess with it. I got my stuff that I bring from home, and I'm good. Oh man, you think you too bougie, man. You think you better than everybody. No, I realize, when people see you in there just eating free shit, people make all type of assumptions. When they can't assume anything about you, they ain't got shit to say. Cut the shit off at the knees, man. I've been sitting here paying attention to everything, man. Wondering why everything is the way it is. But you know what? We gonna get there. We gonna keep on pushing. We gonna build. And like I said, I'm building a wall. And if you want to, you can climb your ass over. But, I'm building a wall on this bullshit, bro. They were at work talking about, rich people are horrible people. Man, some of these people used to be poor people who just came up with something that they can use to better their life. And they're not throwing it in your face. They move. But they moved from out of the neighborhood. Yeah, because their safety was at risk. I wouldn't stay somewhere where I could get hurt at. Who wins that? Who comes up with ideas and earn money? You worth $10 million and staying in an area that doesn't support $10 million. You need to live around people who got money. That way, they won't be too quick to be after your money. You already got people when you go in certain neighborhoods who shop your cars, man. It don't matter what color the people are in the area, man. If it's something on your car they need, they taking a catalytic converter. They taking down the damn windshield blades. Shit, if you ain't careful, they take the damn wheels off your car along with the plate, bro. You sitting there like, damn, the thirst. Oh, but why you don't want to stay over here? Really? Nobody want to stay nowhere where they fucking getting robbed every day. I never heard of that. I never heard of anybody being thankful and grateful for being in a badass area, man. When you start realizing what the hell is really going on, you start understanding that, look, I want more. I need something more. I need better. I need to be in a better place, a better situation, man. And you know what? When you start wanting more, that's when you start doing more. When I first got my first place as a young man, I realized that shit, I didn't have money to eat. I had money to pay all the bills, but shit, just barely scraping to get food. I went and got another damn job. I didn't give no shit. I got another job and I worked the hell out of that motherfucker. Man, look, I'm not gonna be hungry any damn where if I have a choice, bro. My choice was to get out there and get another damn job. People nowadays, they feel that that's beneath them. This job should pay them everything they want. That don't always happen. Sometimes, man, you got to get out there, man, and do what you need to do. I'm just tired. It's just like people don't understand until shit gets so bad People that sometimes you think are on your side, they're not. And this is why I'm saying you need to really be careful, man, because all those people who tell you they got the best and want the best for you, man, are on some bullshit. You know, some of the people in your own camp hate you more than any damn body else. You don't know who your friend or foe is half of the time, man. This is why I say sometimes you got to go it alone and you see where you go from there. That's how life is, man. But to later, fam, thank you for watching this long ass video. Peace out.